Hello, welcome to day 3 of our chakra crystal meditation. So today I want to look at the solar plexus and take you on your journey with Tiger's Eye, which can be linked to the solar plexus and give us empowerment, it can give us strength. And if you want to ground any of the centers, your hematite is also useful to hold, put in your pocket, and carry it around with you all day. So they do link quite well together. If you want to hold one in each hand, or even like we've done before, you can cup them and do the meditation mudra. Today I'd like you to hold the Tiger's Eye in your receptive hand, so the receiving hand, to receive any insight and any energy from the crystal, and then the hematite can be held in the opposite hand. So let's just take a moment to bring ourselves down into our body and to use the breath to ground, center and focus the mind. So just taking a moment, feeling the breath from the tip of the nose coming all the way down into the low belly, and just allow yourself a few moments to settle, to get comfortable wherever you're seated, whether it's in your chair or on the floor, and just take a few moments to notice how you're feeling, whether things are beginning to get a bit overwhelming, and whether you are feeling anxious about your future. The solar plexus is very much about anxiety and not feeling empowered. So we want to try and empower ourselves with the Tiger's Eye and with our own meditation into the solar plexus, the fire element as well. So we're going to use fire element to empower ourselves and burn away any issues that we are holding on to. So as you're just taking your breath, as you're beginning to come into yourself, into your own space, and just set intention for us to connect through the solar plexus using the Tiger's Eye, to connect through the Tiger's Eye crystal and maybe the hematite too. If you want to invoke and call in your guardian angel, just ask them to join you on your journey this afternoon as well. And so if you use any other guides, any other modalities that you want to use, just call those in and aiding you on your journey. So like on the previous journeys, we're going to take ourselves into our corridor. I'd like you to enter your corridor in your mind's eye, just closing your eyes, or just lower your gaze, you don't have to close the eyes, and just allow yourself to visit your corridor again with your 7 doors. And today we're going to visit through the yellow door, which links us and accesses us to our solar plexus journey. And just trust and know that it's safe to venture into yourself, to journey down into your own being and getting to know yourself better. And just cross over the threshold of your solar plexus door, your yellow door, and find yourself on your wooden veranda again. And just taking a moment on the veranda to look over your view, to look at your sight and the sounds and anything else that might be happening in your inner mind, in your solar plexus view. Notice if the veranda is still the same, or if that's changed. Sometimes when we revisit, things look different. So is it familiar, or are we venturing into new pastures today? And so seeing the steps along the end of the veranda, take yourself down the steps and find your wooded path. Sorry, not your wooden path, but it may well be a wooden path. And just allow yourself a moment to walk along your wooded path. I keep saying wooden path, maybe my path is wood today. And just allow a few moments to familiarize yourself of your surroundings. What does the wood look like? What kind of wood is it? And have you got any animal guides joining you? Any animals, any flowers or plants that you see along the way? And as you start to journey a bit deeper into the woods, we can rejoin our stream and just see the stream bubbling along to the side. We visited that yesterday, the sacral center, and just notice if the stream is looking calm and clear today. And carry on, we don't need to visit there, but carry on along your path and continue, keep going down your path. And as we venture a little deeper, the wood might get a little thicker. You might get yourself into a slightly denser part of your woodland. And just keep journeying along your path, taking in the sights and the sounds, the smells, anything that you might notice along the way. And trust that it is safe to do so, that we are venturing just inside ourselves. There is nothing that we need to be fearful of. And as we venture further along, we come to a fork in our path, a left path and a right path, and you need to make a choice and just go with your instinctive intuition, your first thought of which path you'd like to journey down. And there isn't a right or wrong path, just allow yourself to go left or right along the fork and journey further down. As you're starting to go down whichever fork you've chosen, we venture a little bit further through, and we come to a clearing in the woods, which opens up into a little copse, a little area of grass around the woods. And it's secluded, it's safe, it's nice and quiet and peaceful. So we go into the copse and we find ourselves a place to either sit down or lie down on the grass. And we just take a moment to just be present in the copse. And as we're sitting or lying there, to tune in to the sounds of the birds and maybe other animals that might be present in your clearing. And just giving yourself a moment to catch your breath, feel your breath, notice how you're feeling. And as we're lying there, we notice that the sun is streaming down. The sun is so warm on our face. Again, you might decide to lie back and have a little sunbathe. And we're just going to ask the fire element of the sun to just bathe and cleanse and burn away anything that no longer serves us across our bodies. And just ask or notice for yourself, have you got any anxieties, any worries for what's happening in the future right now? Have you got any worries about money or your job or your health, what is going on for you? And we just ask that the sun starts to burn and transmute all of these worries away from your solar plexus, which is where it sits in the upper belly. And just offer anything that is worrying you today up to the sun. Allow the sun to just burn away, transmute that energy, and allow it just to then melt, dissolve away into the earth, into the grass, deep down into the earth. And just lying for a moment, feeling the sun bathing over your whole body, and just igniting your solar plexus, the fire in your belly. And sometimes when we haven't got our normal routine, we start to get into a little bit of lethargic mode. And so the fire in the belly can start to dampen down. It starts to get too low. So we don't have the energy or the inclination to do anything. So just like you to imagine the sunshine coming into your solar plexus and firing up the fire in your belly to give you the desire and the passion to still continue with your life even though we're in lockdown. And we can connect to the tiger's eye and just feel the tiger's eye, the heat from the tiger's eye. You might even place it over your belly to feel that energy just re-energizing the solar plexus, allowing the solar plexus to burn in balance. We don't want it to be burning too much, and we don't want it to be put out. And just allow yourself a few moments to allow this to happen. The sun just to energize your solar plexus and to burn away anything that no longer serves you. Anything, any worries, any anxieties that we're holding into in our upper bellies. And sometimes when we feel these worries, we feel a bit sick, a little bit icky in our tummies. So we'll allow these feelings to dissolve with the sun, with the heat of the sun. And just let yourself rest for a moment longer. Noticing any change in your feelings, noticing any thoughts that perhaps arise as we're sitting there. And again, just allow the sun to burn away any of these worries in our mind, anything that we feel anxious about. Just allow the sun to take away those worries, and then let it dissolve and melt down into the earth. And just give it away to the earth so that we don't hold into it all. And just allow a moment longer for the sun to really work through the whole body, allowing all of the energy centers just to be fired up and to transmute any feelings that really we don't want anymore. Feelings of fear, feelings of unhappiness and discontent, feelings of anxiety, feelings of grief perhaps, and burdening, any untruths that we might be feeling, any worries in the mind so we can't see clearly, and any connections of unity. Just allow the sun to burn, to release, remove anything that feels heavy and burdening and negative. And as you're just laying there, allowing this to just happen, allowing this to work its way through, you might notice these fresh feelings coming back up to the surface. And I just want you to repeat to yourself, I am empowered. I am empowered. I am empowered. Just to give you that strength in your solar plexus to carry on with your day, even if the routine's slightly different, and especially with people who are still having to work, having to deal with people who are perhaps not so well, or just with people who are fearful. And just allow that empowerment to settle into your solar plexus. And then it's time to leave the clearing, the copse. So just allow yourself a moment to either sit up if you were lying down, stand up if you were sitting, and just take a look around your copse again. The woods surrounding the clearing. It's a nice, safe, warm haven for you to return to any time you want to. And it's time to return back along your wooded path. So finding the path from the clearing and retracing your steps along your path, back through the woods, noticing again any changes, any sights, sounds, smells that you might be experiencing, and joining again, coming back to the main path from the fork and retracing your steps along your path again, walking back past your stream. As the wood starts to thin out, we walk back along to our veranda steps, and we walk back up the steps onto our veranda. And we take a moment just to look again over our view. Any changes, just observing, no judging. Just observe and be aware of anything that you might be feeling. And you might just repeat to yourself again, and any time during the day, I am empowered. I am empowered. I am empowered. And we just walk through our yellow door, back into our corridor, and just feel the hematite if you're holding it and the tiger's eye into your hands again, and start to tune into your breath and feel the breath now coming down into your belly, feeling your body either on the floor, your sit bones, your feet, or your back along the chair. And just start to bring yourself back into the room when you're ready, using your breath, using your awareness. You might even hear some sounds in your room. You might even hear your breath. Just tuning in again, noticing where you are again. And when you feel ready, just bring yourself back into your room by opening your eyes, and just take a moment with your tiger's eye, either holding it to the heart center or to the upper belly in the solar plexus, and just taking gratitude for connecting to the stone, connecting to yourself through your journey of the solar plexus. And I'd like to take gratitude for everyone else. Stay really safe out there, everybody. And tomorrow we'll join the heart journey with Green Adventurine. Stay safe, everybody. Enjoy the meditations. Take time for yourself. Very important that we come into ourselves and recognize how we're feeling. Have a lovely evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. See you again tomorrow.